Then he realized he made a big mistake. And so he was like, "What do I do about this?" I said, "You just rip some of them apart and turn them the other direction because he has too many of one direction."
Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie, and welcome to the Greenland Quilter channel. And I am kind of shocked here because there's a bunch of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed people in here this morning. Um, uh-oh. I got Sean here with me, and I know it's been a while since the last time we talked about trying to do the Stitch It challenge. There's been a lot of things that's gotten in the way of us being able to do this, and we have finally been able to sit down and do something about it. So, first thing I want to do is cover a couple things. Um, if you're when you see our Stitch It kits, I'm going to post a link in the channel of where you can go should you decide you want to invest yourself in one. I also on the community tab where I shared the link to go live, I gave all of I wrote or typed in all the information that relates to what's in a Stitch It kit as far as sizes and how to make them yourself from your own stash. So if you know, because this is a really fun way of uh tipping your or putting your feet in the water to be creative, be a designer, because this is basically this is all you're doing. There's no pattern to this. None. You are the pattern writer. You get to create the blocks how you want to use them, and it's really fun because it's a good way to learn the mechanics of blocks. It's a good way to discover a block you've never even seen before because you get to play around with them. And this is to me, and Sean will probably agree once he gets started on this, is really not stressful at all. I mean, you don't really have to think about it. All you got to do is just move things around until you've got something you like, and then sew it together, and you have a block. Um, hang on a second. I got to get the link. Sorry, Sean. You
Oh,
want
you're
to talk?
fine. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Katie. It's a fun project. I did one of I think the 12 days of stitches last year, which I think you did as well, Katie, where we got little boxes of half square triangles and squares last year. And this is kind of like a bigger version. And to me, this is like a do-it-yourself. It reminds me a lot of the Puzzle Mystery Quilt because it has the same size blocks as the Puzzle Mystery Quilts. So you can even pull out some of your favorite blocks from a Puzzle Mystery Quilt that you've done in the past and use that as inspiration or copy that block. That's kind of what I'm doing. Like I originally last night, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just replicate some of these blocks. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to use it as inspiration. So I'll show you a couple of examples later on as to what I'm going to do. But yeah, I've just pulled inspiration from the puzzle mystery quilt blocks. Just looks through it, saw, okay, yeah, this looks cool. Let's try this. So if you have some of those old clues laying around and there are certain aspects of that, you can always pull that as an option as well. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm not quite sure what Katie has got figured out for herself, but that was kind of my go-to last night, and I thought I played with it. It's kind of like playing with Lego sometimes, or Lego. Is it? I think they pronounce it Lego in
No,
Denmark. Is
no,
that
it's
right?
late.
Well,
It's
my
late.
Danish student last year told me it was Lego. It wasn't spelt like it wasn't pronounced Lego. But we'll have that argument later on. So,
Well, yeah, all right.
hey, I figured I was going by what the person from Denmark told me, since that's where it's based. So,
Well, that's interesting because Nikolai says Lego, and half Danish and half Greenlandic.
yeah, I don't know. You'll have to ask him later on. But yeah, Ali was telling me last year that it was pronounced differently. So, I don't know. Maybe if you have a Danish accent, you pronounce it Lego. Who knows? Um, it's all good. Joyce is saying hi to Nico. Is Nico floating around? Or is he
Nikolai,
still asleep?
he's in bed.
Okay.
So since you asked, um, I was trying to find the hang on a second. I was trying to find the main page. Uh some of you follow Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm bringing this up for a reason. I have a Stitch It kit here from Cotton Cuts, but Fat Quarter Shop is doing a Jolly Bar Challenge pattern. And you're like, well, what does that have to do with this? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with it. The so long is going to end, I think, in December. But these they give you you have to have the book to know the measurements of these blocks. But listen up, you guys. You can take a stitch it kit. Don't worry about the measurement and make this block from your stitch it kit. Every one of the blocks that are involved in this sew along here can come out of your stitch it kit.
Well, aren't you a smart cookie?
So guess who's going to do the sew along using her stitch it kit?
Hey, I think that's see, I wasn't that smart. I just said, okay, well, it reminds me of a puzzle mystery quilt, so I'll use that. I wasn't as smart as you figuring that one out. So good job there, Katie. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And the beauty of it is remember how we've talked on and off. All of us have had this discussion about being a visual learner. Some of us are more visual learners than we are other types of learners. Some of us are visual hands-on kind of learners. And if you're a visual learner and you have a picture and you basically have an understanding of the mechanics of half square, triangles, and squares and rectangles, and you have a picture to look at, and since these stitch pieces, and we're going to be taking them out for you to see, since I already know the measurements of this stuff, all you got to do is build that first triangle or use that first square, and you can build this from this.
That's such a smart idea, Katie. It really is.
Yeah.
I think you've done well.
And so you're getting a chance to use something from one quilt company while building a free pattern or participating in a free sew along from another company.
There you go.
So, or like we were talking about, you can do your own thing, and which I've shared before, some of my experimental stitch it blocks from another kit that I have that I'm still messing around with. You can do whatever you want. Just don't ever overthink this. This is not supposed to be any stressful kind of thing.
No, not at all.
All right, let me say hi to everyone in the chat, and then we'll start. I'm gonna have Sean open, unless you've already opened it.
I have. I've already opened mine and started.
Well, I just wanted to show the color. So let me say hi to everyone. Let's say hi to everyone in the chat. We've had when I went live, or when I went in here to finish setting up the live, there was a bunch of people in here already.
That's a good problem to have,
Hi, Zaza, or Ja, sorry. Hello, Cindy. Oh my God. And I'm going to remind everybody, I'm still having trouble focusing, so bear with me on this. Reading things has kind of been a pain for me because of the issues I have going on right now. Hello, Christina from York. I think, don't you live in, you live in Sweden, I think.
Wait, I'm pretty sure she's from Sweden.
Yeah, she's next door to Denmark. And then there's Cindy Good. Hello, hello. Hi, Joyce. Welcome, welcome. Rita's here. Hi, you're up early. Way early. And let me see, did I miss anyone? Do I got everybody? Hey, Candy, welcome. Oh, that's Candace, sorry. Hi, Pat. And hello, Zaza. We got another European in here this morning. Okay.
I know you said Zaza a few minutes ago, and then here she is. So you must have called her. She must have heard her call. You must have heard us calling.
I'm playing siren. Zaza, please come.
Zaza. Lotto numbers, please come. Winning lotto numbers.
Yep. I'm going to spotlight Sean so he can show his colorway.
Well, this is my coffee cup in case anyone didn't see it earlier. Okay, so my box looks not nearly as neat as hers because I already opened it up and started planning, but I am using a bunch of different mine's all different Allison glass fabrics. So I have this beautiful blue, and it has all these wonderful animals on it. I love this print. There is a red on the back. And then I think there's also this here. It's almost like, I don't know, to me, it's like Asian inspired with tigers
Yep.
and goats and turtles. Oh, look, it's a little bit of Rowena up here. And
Mhm.
then let's see, there's a dark blue, which is the same print as the light blue behind it. And then there's another one floating around. Oh, it's black right here, which you can't really see much of a design on. And then this one here, it's kind of like a, I want to say like a coral color is probably the easiest way to explain it. Oh, and then this yellow that I've been playing with already for a little bit. So they tend to give you about 5 or 6 different prints for each Stitch It's kit. And like Katie said, they have different colors, different colorway options. I think they change monthly. Is that correct, Katie? Is that
Yeah,
right?
they change monthly, and also they do have some that stays in there. Recently, I guess about 2 or 3 months ago, um, me and some regular PMQ sewers, we've been attending the third Thursday sew with cotton cuts for a long time now. And every now and then Kim will come in and attend the sew with us, and she'll say, she we find out about things before everybody else knows about it, and we're just asked not to tell anyone about it. But one of the things is she tends to ask, is there anything that you want to give as a suggestion that we could add to the Cotton Cuts family? And one of the things I told her, I said, in your Stitch It kits, you have no solids. So if someone wanted to buy one kit and buy a solid to add to that kit so that they could use it as a background, you don't have that. So now she has solids in there that you can use as a background to go with the Stitch It kit. And
That's a
it's a
good
Stitch
option.
Yeah, and it's a Stitch It kit. So basically, if you buy this, the one I have is a mini, and you want to buy a mini background, you can use the background, which I'm going to be doing with this today, and because I want to have more movement. Is what I want,
Yeah.
and but so those have been staying up month to month. There's like, I think maybe 10 that keep repeating. Either they haven't sold them all out, or they have so much stock that they've been able to maintain it. So but there is main ones that change on the 15th of each month. They put a new set up, and normally if it's some really great fabric lines that people love, like this one I have is Callie and Co., it will sell out that day. And so if you go in there in the morning and you see it, and then you're messing around all day long thinking about it, and then you finally decide to pull the trigger, you know the old saying, you snooze, you lose. You go back and discover it's sold out.
Yes, if you see one, it's especially if it's something like Tula Pink or something, yeah, you might want to hop on it sooner rather than
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Um,
Don't waste your time, because even I didn't mess around with this Callie and Co., but apparently there was a bunch of people ahead of me already logged in and buying the large kit, because I was going to buy the large one. I ended up buying 2 minis because the large sold out, and I was only in there 30 minutes. 30 minutes, it sold out. Okay, one of the things I wanted to show you guys before I start, well, I'll show you the colorway. Here's the colorway, and I'm adding um this will be my background.
there you go.
Okay, so we have this blue, we have some pinks, there is a boatload of orange, there's browns, blues, some greens and some pinks. I mean, there's all kinds of colors in here. So you can just have and this Callie and Co. fabric line is really pretty. I'm not much of a brown user, but you're going to see me using brown today, and it's going to work.
I know sometimes it challenges you to use stuff that you wouldn't normally use because, yeah, that coral color I showed you earlier, I've got a ton of that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll
Um,
figure it out.
I bought 2 kits, so I already opened one kit and got it all organized. So it's on a board over here. I also wanted to show you um, when I got my first PMQ, and for those that don't know what a PMQ is, it's puzzle mystery pulled along. They do 2 a year. So my first one was Stratford. This came in the first clue. You have a large half triangle, a medium half triangle, and a small. These 3 triangles are prevalent through all of Cotton Cut's precuts. And I typed in the description box, as well as on the community tab when I posted about the live. If you do this from your stash, to know what size these triangles will need to be, you need to do the small needs to be a 3 7/8 square, and then you cut on the diagonal. The medium one needs to be a 5 1/4 square cut diagonal, and the large triangle needs to be 6 7/8, and then you cut that on the diagonal. The square part of the stitches is 3 1/2, and the rectangle for the stitchet is 3 1/2 by 6 1/2. Now, if you, I will measure. I do have a large kit of a different colorway. I'll go in there and pull out that longer triangle, because there, or not triangle, there is a longer rectangle. I'll get the measurements off that one. It's going to be 3 1/2 by something, and I'll add that to what I already posted on both places. This is for those of you who don't want to buy the stitch kit, but would rather use from your stash, because I'm all for that too. Because if you just do it from your stash, you still can be, you don't need a pattern unless you decide to use a pattern. Do what you want to do. And I saw Rita made a comment. Where did it go? She's Rita says, but at least this time I wrote down the pattern as I made this needle book. I thought about Katie. She writes down everything. Yep. You know why I write down everything? Because if I don't, I forget it.
Yeah, me too.
This is something I just started doing a lot of in the last 2 or 3 years now. Go ahead.
I was going to say, oh yeah, if you want to buy these on the cheap, I mean, I can't guarantee anything because, I'm not part of the Cotton Cut staff. But generally they have some really good sales on Black Friday and around Christmas time. So if you see this today or in 3 weeks time or something like that, and you go like, hey, I'd like to do this, maybe wait until one of those sales come out, because sometimes it's like, it might take 30% off or 50% or something like that. I think that's how you and I bought these back early this year.
Wasn't it 40% off?
Something like that. It was a decent.
Yeah, it was an amazing price. And me and I mentioned it to Sean, and Sean's like, "What, really?" And then that's where we came up with the idea of doing the Stitch It Challenge. Let's go buy it, and that's what we did. And then the first time we were going to do it, we set it long enough out to make sure I got mine, because everything drags its feet getting here these days. And but it got here when it was supposed to arrive, which made me happy. But yeah, I think if you go, and I will look for it to verify, I think you can get on a mailing list. They're not bad. They're not bad about swamping your emails with multiple emails a week. They don't do that. You usually get maybe 1 email a week sometimes, just to advertise something new going on. But when they put Stitch It kits on sale, it'll be in an email telling you about it. Unless you're following Cotton Cuts on Facebook when they do their lives, because Kim's gotten where she talks about everything on those lives.
Right. Yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Like if you're like me and like a good bargain, I think there's a good chance. As I said, I don't have any inside information. They don't come to me and go, "Hey, Sean, what do you think about this?" So
exactly.
The only inside information I get is the what's it called? I've seen I've seen the final design for the puzzle mystery quilt already, and I think you're all gonna love it. But that's as far as I go. What did I do here?
These look different. These look the same, but they're uh, sometimes these are so weird. Oh, so I'm gonna lay mine out here so you can see them on this camera.
There you go.
And
Seems
Joyce
good.
said she got hers when they were BOGO free. Free?
Buy
How'd they
one,
get
get
it?
one. Buy one, get one free. So it was basically half off,
Oh,
I
got
think.
you. Oh, okay, got you. Oh, that's really cool. When I wonder when they did that, I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I guess I did too, but that's okay.
Where's the other blue
Yeah,
one?
that's why it's a good idea to stay signed up for these things, so that way you know what's going on. That's not real intelligent, is it?
You already getting stuck, or did you put something upside down?
No, I did a layout last night. Like usual, my crazy self does everything around midnight. And I have this beautiful layout, but I think I'm going to have to pull apart what I've already done because I think it has to go together in 4 blocks. I thought I'd be able to assemble it from the inside out, but not so much.
No, it'll be all right. You'll figure it out.
That's fine. You know, Jack's my co-star, so we'll just pull him out and do a little bit of ripping.
Ripping, ripping, ripping. God,
Everyone loves Jack, right? He's like my best co-star.
I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. So,
Uh,
all right,
it's
here we
really
go.
annoying. For those of you, for those of you that don't know this, Europe and Greenland fell back on our time at midnight. So there's 2 hours difference between me and Eastern, which is so strange and it just boggles my brain. Um, there's 2 hours difference between us and Eastern Standard Time. So
Which was big. See, and oh, that's going to be interesting.
it's going to drive me a little batty while I'm trying to set up lives, and I'm like, wait, I can't because normally I set because I tell everybody my lives on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays start at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, but I don't set that Eastern Standard Time inside um my YouTube and Zoom because I'm on Greenland time, and so the computer knows that. So I set it to 7:30. So now I got to rethink it and say, nope, can't set it for 7:30. Got to set it for 6:30. So it's like annoying.
Yes, and I always thought Europe fell behind a week after us. I didn't realize it was a week before.
Yeah,
I knew it
you
was
guys
a
are
week.
behind us.
Yeah. Well, we start daylight savings before Europe. I know that much.
Yeah, y'all do March, and we don't do it until
Like a week
oh,
or two after.
actually Greenland is a little bit later on the other.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is because we have our because we're up at the top of the world practically. Um, the sun is different up here, so they may wait. I can't remember when they changed it. I think in April, I believe, maybe. I don't
Okay.
remember. I'll have to look it up and see when we changed it this last time. We were first off, we weren't even going to be doing time changes anymore because it doesn't really matter in the grander scheme of things, considering we get in the height of winter we get 22 hours of darkness, and in the height of summer we get 22 hours of daylight. So
Imagine having 22 hours of darkness. That would just be weird.
yeah, but you know what, your body adjusts to it.
Well, I'm
Whenever
sure it does. You know, like I've seen 22 hours of sunlight once in my life, but that also involved me getting on a plane in Los Angeles at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and flying south west for 16 hours.
Oh yeah, being in the air and not ever seeing. I get that.
Well, it's usually the opposite, because normally when you fly to Australia out of the west coast, is you leave at like 10:30 at night. So depending on what time of year it is, you've already seen a few hours a day,
It's like,
nighttime, and
yeah.
yeah, and then you fly all night at 16 hours, and then the sun rises right as you're landing in Sydney. So I mean, I've seen long nights many, many times. But long days, yeah, I've only seen that once. I was able to catch a 1 p.m. flight out of LA one time because my previous night flight was canceled due to some mechanical failure. I don't know what it was. I don't particularly care because if the captain wasn't comfortable flying the plane, I didn't want to be on it. So they put us up in a hotel overnight and we flew out 1 o'clock the next afternoon, which was fun.
What I find boggling is flying from doing a straight shot from San Francisco to Copenhagen, because you know how many time zones we travel through. So by the time I landed Copenhagen, I have lost an entire day.
Yeah. Well, it's worse when you cross the international date line because, like, you'll leave, like, let's say you leave San Francisco on a Thursday,
Hmm.
you don't get into Sydney until Saturday morning.
Gosh,
Friday's
how many?
gone. Bye bye. Friday doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's very and it's like your body's like, hey, wait, what happened here?
Oh, it really was weird one time. It was one of the times I flew home before Amanda and I got married, and we left on Thursday. I left on Thursday night out of I don't know wherever it was. I forget. It might have been Vancouver, and I landed in Sydney and I was like, okay, because I had to take a train up to the next city. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to be really careful because it's going to be rush hour, in Sydney, because you land at 6:30 in the morning and I figured I'd catch like the 9 o'clock train and that sort of thing there. And I was got on this train, there's like nobody on it. And I'm like, okay, what am I missing here? And I finally figured it out when someone came on, they had a newspaper and I saw the date on the newspaper. It said Saturday, blah, 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 and I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I lost a day. It was kind of like, when Marty McFly from Back to the Future goes back to 1955 and he looks at that dude's newspaper in the park and realizes he's gone back in time 30 years. So I just went forward a day. But you can actually go, if you do it right, you can actually get somewhere the day before you left.
That is crazy.
You can leave Sydney at like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and get into Honolulu, Hawaii the evening before you left. I think you can also do it from I think Guam to Honolulu, and I think Tokyo. There's actually New Year's Eve flights that you can take, and you've got to make sure you got to hope that there's no delays. But you can actually celebrate New Year's Eve in like Tokyo or Guam or something like that, and then hop on a plane early the next morning, go to Honolulu, and do it all over again. That's assuming, of course, you clear customs and all that sort of stuff in time. You might have to celebrate, in the customs line, but it can be done.
Oh, cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, actually, could probably do it from Auckland. Actually, Auckland, New Zealand might be the best hopping off point because that'd actually buy you an extra 2 hours.
I would love to see New Zealand.
Mm. If you ever get a chance to go to New Zealand, I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful spot. The pictures do not do it justice.
I
Yeah,
would love to go there and visit it. I think our next little expedition that's not the United States, not a trip to the States, but somewhere else, is we're going to go to Thailand. Our friend Torben and Ellie that live, Torben's a native Greenlander, and he did the same thing Nikolai did. He married a Outlander, and she's from Thailand, and they have built a house in Thailand. So, and it's a big house like the one they have here. Um, and we've been invited to come and be, join them at some point. And so we're planning on doing that in the near future. Oh, and another thing is I haven't said much about it yet. My oldest daughter, my youngest granddaughter, Ava, and her husband have plans to come here this next summer. And Torben is has offered their house for them to stay in, and that really lightened a little bit of a load. So now all we got to do is find an Airbnb for Ilulissat, because part of the trip we're going to all get together. We're all going to meet in up north and go see the skyscraper-sized iceberg, go whale watching. I'm pretty sure that they're going to go hiking as well. I probably will stay behind as far as the hiking unless I think I can manage it. I don't know if it just depends. But we'll spend 3 or 4 days up there and then come back down here, and then we'll do a lot of stuff down here that South Greenland has to offer too.
There you go. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate, not mess up again. So if I sound distracted, that's why.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just making sure I don't stretch these biases.
Makes sense.
So what is everybody working on so early in the morning, or are you just chilling with a cup of coffee while you watch us do our thing?
That's a good question. Let's see. Is that right? Let's see. No. I feel I'm going to mess this up, but that's okay. We'll sort it out. That's why Jack's here, right?
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is did you order anything for the Rosa Holiday Your Way thing, Sean?
No, I did not. I thought about it, and I already have enough projects going on to keep myself busy till the end of the year. So I'm going to live vicariously through all my buddies.
I signed
So
up.
yeah.
I signed up for 2 of them.
Oh, good. That'd be fun.
Well, my usual boutiques one I'm doing, and then I'm doing there. There was the discussion about this next Stitch It holiday one would be more colorful.
Oh, that's what I was going to mention too. Yeah, when I did the Stitch It one last year, they actually, like he was talking about the solids that you suggested, and
Mm-hmm.
they actually did include solids with those kits last year, which was really nice. They had black, white, and navy, and that was really good for the background. So I think that'll come in quite handy, like now that they're doing the solids as an option for the Stitch It kits year round. So
Yeah, because sometimes because if their kids their kids pretty much feed you into scrappies, being
yeah,
scrappy. But sometimes your brain is like, no, I just cannot put this next to you. This it just doesn't, and then you get stuck. And I feel like when you get stuck, then eventually you being stuck because you can't figure out how you want to do it, and you don't have an alternative to use in the place of it. And a background gives you that alternative. Now,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and since I've given the measurements on, where people can find it, they can also just do it from their stash if they want to.
Right. And what I found really handy too, and if you go back and look at my series from, well, I was going to say last year, but half of it's from this year because it took me I kept getting distracted by shiny things. I found it was really good to have like a higher contrast with some of these blocks because some of like with the 12 days of stitches I got last year, they were all a lot of them were color groups. So there was like one little box full of reds and one little box full of greens, and I was trying to do a block out of each of these boxes. I mean, if you
Mhm.
mix the colors up, it doesn't really matter. But because I was trying to make a thing all out of reds, or a certain color, sometimes there wasn't enough contrast in there to
Tell the difference. Yeah.
yeah, so especially I think it was like the blues I mixed up with some white, I think it was, and that sort of thing there. So sometimes yeah, having those solids options in there, if you haven't got a lot of contrast in it, um, it helps out there. But with these kits, because you get 4 or 6 colors, instead of like I think we had I forget how many different fabrics I had in those little kits. It was probably close to 100. Um, I think they tend to have more contrast in it, so it's not as big a deal. But it is nice having that option there if that's what you want to do.
y'all probably see me keep doing exclamation GQ. Is to let those of you who are channel creators know to please share your channel. You are more than welcome to do so because maybe someone's not been to your website, I mean your YouTube channel. Also, Sean said hi to Dawn. Who is Dawn?
Dawn is my quilt projects.
Okay, I don't think I don't know if she's been in my channel or not. So hi Dawn, welcome to the channel.
Yes, I don't know if I've seen her in yours before. She's been a long time supporter of my channel. Her and I have been chatting back and forth for a number of years now. She was on, I think my first, what's it called? The quilt trunk show that I do with all the different content creators each year. So, and I plan to have her on my live at some point in the near future. She's actually challenged. I was talking about that on my live yesterday, and she's like, "Yeah, we need to do legit, do some legit kit stuff together." And I was like, "That's a fantastic idea." So definitely stay tuned for that. You and I need to do that as well at some point. Get that legit kit of yours out of its packaging and actually cut some fabric and sew it together.
Yeah, okay.
And I've actually got it. I've got something that might work for you too, Katie. If you have freezer paper laying around in your house somewhere, or can you get your hands on that?
I can buy it from Fat Quarter Shop.
Oh,
She,
okay.
in sheets. They do not sell freezer paper here.
Okay.
When I mean that Greenland doesn't have tons of things that we Americans take for granted, I'm not kidding about that.
I know, and that's exactly the reason I asked you that question in that way, because I was like, I don't know if that's something that you can get your hands on easily or not, because I've found that doing
There's not even butcher paper in the butcher's. We actually have a butcher in Bruceton, and you can go in there and ask him to cut meat or whatever, but they do not have butcher's paper. I wish they
okay.
did. I would tell them every time I go in and buy, sometimes I'll buy a whole ribeye and then have them cut it a certain way. And if they had butcher's paper, I'd tell them to put it in that. Because I've gotten where I don't know what's wrong with me, but I am so bugged by all the plastic that everything, all our meat goes into plastic. You got plastic containers, you got plastic wrap going over it. And when I come, if because I buy by the month sometimes, so I'll buy a bunch of fresh stuff at once because I'm going to stick it in the freezer. And when I unload it, there's this stack of plastic that's going to go into the landfill.
Yeah, I know. It's
And I'm at a point now where I'm like, I wish I could just take my own containers and say, hey, will you put it in there? But I'm pretty sure you can't do that, you know.
well, you could always ask. I mean, the worst they can say is no.
Weigh the meat without the container and then stick it in this, and then we won't have plastic going home with me.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a saving for them. I think it'll all depend on what the health code says, but I don't think there's too many health inspectors in your part of Greenland either to worry about. So you might be able to. You never know. You won't know until you ask.
That's true, because I thought about asking them. Okay, so we've got some answers. Let's see here.
I mean, the freezer paper is not a big deal. It's just that's something I've started doing recently with mine, and I found that using freezer paper to cut out the fabric has helped me immensely. So,
Really? Oh, because it doesn't, the fabric don't.
so basically, for anyone that doesn't have any idea what I'm talking about, what you can do is you can get some freezer paper, and I've got like just a little scrap of it here. And what I do is I grab my piece of my pattern. We'll try and just give you a practical example here real quick. Now we're here doing a stitches challenge, and now I'm talking about FPP, but that's okay. All right. So you have your pattern right here. You grab your freezer paper over top. Now you can't really, I guess you can kind of see it through here, and you basically trace the outline of the piece of whatever it is onto the freezer paper, and you can draw on it. You have a pen or that sort of thing there, and then you can cut it out, and then you iron it onto the fabric to where you want it to, and then you can cut it out. So that way you know you got the right size. You have to remember though to add your 1/4 inch. I usually add about 1/2 inch on each side just to make myself, give myself a little wiggle room. But it helps me a lot with cutting out the right size and not cutting out too small. So, as I said, it's not something you have to do. It may not work for everybody, but it's helped me out a lot trying to cut out different pieces because sometimes I cut it out way too big and sometimes I cut it out way too small.
So I asked the
Oh,
question. I asked the question, what is everybody doing? And Mary G, drinking water and watching.
hey,
Uh,
that's good.
Let me see. Someone else answered.
And then Rita says you can also print directly onto the freezer paper.
Yeah,
That
you
might be
can.
an option. That might be an option there for you, Katie.
Yeah, because the freezer paper I bought from that quarter shop can be run through the printer. I just have to make sure that there's supposed to be a sheet of paper in between or something. I don't know. So that sticky stuff doesn't get all over everything. Somebody else made a comment and now I can't find it.
I think if you have an inkjet, you'd be fine. If you had a laser printer, you'd have problems because it runs with heat. It heats the toner thing, whatever it is. So yeah, if you have a laser jet, I would not put that stuff through because it'll melt, most likely. But yeah, a
Uh,
laser inkjet, you should be fine.
Rita, are you answering all the questions when you try to go into the community? Because if you don't answer all the questions for the Facebook group, it's not the bot's not going to let you in. But yeah, I'll get the email and I'll make sure to share it so everybody can see it. And then Zav was asking about butcher's paper, which I just had already mentioned they don't have. Zaza says, Katie, do they not recycle? You can take your containers. Yeah, we don't have no. Listen, there's no infrastructure for any of this. The I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago they shut down the incinerator because of they didn't want to pollute the atmosphere. That that was some decision the government made, but now they're kind of regretting it because now they're having to package all of this stuff up and it goes on a container ship and it's being sent somewhere, I don't know where, and it's beginning to become a problem and it's becoming expensive. Tape it to freezer paper before running it through a laser printer. Yeah, thanks Rita for that. I knew it was something you were supposed to do. Candace says she just crawled out of bed.
Hey, that's fine. I kind of crawl out of bed, recorded my podcast, and then it's not up. Well, it's uploaded, but I still have to finish it, so it's gonna be a little late today. But that's okay. So I shouldn't have got up. I should have gotten up like 30 minutes earlier, but I needed to sleep.
What time did you go to bed?
12:30.
Oh, you were still awake when I sent you a text message.
Yeah, I probably.
Yeah, because you answered it. I just didn't
Yeah,
know
well, I
what
was
time.
awake. I don't sleep text people, thankfully.
Well, of course, that's not what I meant.
Well, what were we talking about the other? I was talking to somebody the other day, and apparently, like some people like sleep buy stuff and buy stuff on Amazon and stuff in their sleep. So
What? Really?
yeah,
Wow, that's scary.
I know. Yeah, I think it was on one of my lives because I think someone was scared they'll get a sleep by a long arm machine or something like that. I'm like, yeah, well, my bank account would say, yeah, ha ha, funny, funny. That's not happening.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I agree with you on that one.
I mean, I could probably buy a couple of bolts of fabric or something like that and show up my doorstep and go, okay, what's this? I don't remember ordering this, but yeah, I don't have to worry about a gamble machine or anything else show up my doorstep because
Okay, I've got all the half square triangles done for this particular section I'm doing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying this out. At least I hope so. We'll see. I might have to do them at quadrant at a time here. It's probably what's going to end up happening. Okay, we'll put this one like this.
All right, there we go.
And then
Yeah,
this one.
Raven says it usually gets sent to a third world country. That's probably true.
More than likely, it's being sent to Denmark, and then I don't know what happens to it because with the tannery, the chemicals that are used to tan the seal skin. Right now, they got the chromium down to 15%, so they're getting closer and closer to being totally green with that. But when it's used, they repackage it up and they send it to Denmark, and then Denmark has a plant where they reprocess the uh, chemicals to make it where it's not toxic anymore. And then I don't know what happens to it after that.
Right. All right. So Zaza says, oh, apparently I'm still spotlighted.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for reminding.
That's
Yeah,
oh,
y'all gonna.
I did that like 3 times yesterday on my live, so I'm glad to see I'm not alone. Zaza says people are saying on Tammy's live if they take sleep medicines, they often go online shopping with no recollection. That's where I was because I was on Tammy's live last Sunday night. So I knew I was talking to somebody about it somewhere. So thank you, Zaza, for clearing that up because I was like, where was I? Like, was it my live? Was it someone else's? I couldn't remember. So thank you for coming to the rescue for me because now that mystery has been solved.
So, you guys, I need a little help here because I'm still having trouble focusing. Remind me to take, either him or me off spotlight when I do that, and also remind me to stand up
Yes.
because time gets away with me. But this morning I'm in pain, so I already know I need to stand up. But help me remind me if it looks like I'm sitting too long. Um,
Yeah, because I can always entertain them for a few moments if I have to.
Rita says she refuses to get an Amazon account. Okay. Then Zaza says people were saying, oh, got you on that part. Then Zaza says here they are sending plastic to the Philippines where it's getting burnt. There was a big thing in the papers and it had to stop. Um, stamp up, says Rita. um, okay, I think I got everything caught up here.
Yep, I think so. There you go.
This is one of the reasons why I want a sewing table that I can make it go up and down. Because then I could, because I really have a desire sometimes that I want to stand up and sew, but I can't be bent over this table doing that because that just makes pain. And I'm trying to avoid pain, not make more pain.
The lady that sells a it's like a Stanthia sewing machine that puts it on a slight angle and it's supposed to be more ergonomic as well. I forget what her name is. She's usually at the Mid-Atlantic show here in Hampton as well. I don't know if that would help you at all.
Well, that would
Think,
depend on whether she would ship the green one or not.
well, I doubt she'll be at QuiltCon, but I'm almost certain we'll see her again at Mid-Atlantic. I mean, I'm always more than welcome. I can go and ask her next time I see her.
You could do that if you don't mind, because if they don't,
Yeah, of
if
course.
there's no point in even bothering if they're not going to ship.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's like a one-woman show, so she may be willing to do it. I don't know. Well, apparently your mate Kevin's here.
Hey, Kevin, welcome, welcome. It's good
He's
to
up
see you
early.
bright and early morning. And I need to fix this one because I'm not going to let this one ride. There's like an eighth of an inch over on one side of this, and it will affect my seam allowance.
Yeah.
IKEA sells a desktop version that you can put on an ordinary table to do the same thing. Really?
Yeah, there's like a riser thing. Yeah. There's different options out there that you can use.
Yeah, but you know what? What I the thing is if I got one of them where you could just press a button to make it go up and down,
Yeah.
That would be more easier because then I wouldn't have to be moving my machine.
Right. I mean,
And
there's different.
we saw when we were in Denmark, we did go by the IKEA, their big IKEA place, and we saw one there. The problem is we're still trying to figure out how which uh, originally we couldn't even discuss shipping to Greenland because they just don't. And I'm sure that has something to do with the European Union. But recently, it looks like if I order from the Aalborg one, I might could get them to ship because Royal Arctic moved their whole shipping stuff to Aalborg from Copenhagen, and that that means that you if we wanted to order from the Copenhagen IKEA, that's not going shipping would not happen at all because they're not going to ship to Aalborg. It's Aalborg or Ahaus. I don't remember which.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you could use like a consolidator and buy a space on a container from Denmark to Greenland.
I don't know. That's a good question.
You'd have to talk to a freight forwarder there in Denmark.
Because if we would do something like that, then I would order some other IKEA because
Yeah,
I
because
want
you could
one.
buy, you could basically what it is you buy a space like a pallet, and then you
Mhm.
can put whatever you want on there, and you basically just buy that space inside a container. So instead of have that's what they call LCL, or less than container load. You'd have to speak to a forwarder in Denmark probably. I can
Mhm.
probably put you in touch with one that I'm
Could you?
familiar
Yeah,
with.
yeah. Let's do that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
And because you know more about this than I do, because that would. Can you do the same thing from United States to Greenland too?
it'd be more challenging. Yeah, you'd have
No,
to talk to a
I'm
big.
asking that so that I'm asking because I would like to get some of my stuff out of storage.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, I can give you some names of those. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. It might be possible that route I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, it'd just be a matter of talking to the right people.
Yeah, because I originally had an estimate on shipping the whole thing.
Yeah,
It was right before COVID. And after COVID, it was like, I cannot do this because of, yeah.
yeah. The forwarder in Denmark might be able to give you a quote on that too. I don't know. Um, all right, I love this name, Miss Seam Ripper. I love.
What's your first name, Miss Seam Ripper? Is Mona
I'm
in
sure
here
it's
too?
not. I'm sure it's not Jacqueline, but it'd be funny if it was.
Hi, Fern King. And
Hey,
Fern
Fern,
is
how you
actually her
doing?
name. I asked her what her first name. Her name is actually Fern.
Yes, that I thought I knew.
Hang on a minute. I need to open the door, let air in because I'm hot.
Okay. Yeah, what is the temperature like where everybody is? I think it's actually supposed to be somewhat cool here today. I think it was like 62 yesterday. I actually started off with a sweatshirt yesterday, and then once I got into the sun, it was a little warm. But yeah, it's actually starting to feel like fall today. Well, yesterday, so which is nice because it felt like even during the state fair last month, it was really warm, which was weird. So, oh, apparently that's Mona. Okay, Mona has a second account. That's funny.
Oh, it was Mona?
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh, okay.
That's what that's what Rita's telling us at least, and I think Rita would know. All right, where is Rita? She says it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit at 6 a.m.
He's in Arizona.
Ah, it's still that warm out there?
Yep.
Wow. What is the temperature here right now? I have no idea. Felt chilly when I went outside earlier. Oh, it's 11 degrees Celsius. So that's about 54, 52. I was pretty close. How about that? All right, Joyce says it's 61, rain coming later. Rita says that's her other computer talking about Mona. Yep, Southern Arizona. and it's 39 degrees Fahrenheit in where Katie is, which is
2
like
degrees,
5 degrees. How many?
2 degrees Celsius.
I thought 39 was a bit warmer than 2. It's
Look
32.
at that thing, it says 2 degrees Celsius.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I see that now. Okay.
Either way, we're at the end of October and no snow. The lake is not even tried to freeze up at all because we've been sitting above freezing for a while. Our weather is being, no, our weather is doing what it's been doing for the last 4 years.
Yeah, we won't see snow here until probably January. Usually we don't see it until I don't think I've ever seen it before Christmas. Or if we have, it's been like a flurry.
Well, when I first moved here, the lake would be frozen by the beginning of October, and there would be tons of snow already on the ground.
Yeah, you can
But
keep that.
the last 4 years, it's not been that way. Last year we got snow a little sooner. We got it in December, and the lake was also frozen. I think like the first part of December, the lake was frozen. Um, but the 3 years before that, the lake didn't freeze until the third week in January, and we didn't start getting snow until the fourth week of January.
Hmm. I got snow before you did, I think. Because last year we got snow a few times. So
What we've been getting these weather patterns we've had has been we've hardly had what we call a bitter rock, and a bitter rock is a hurricane strong nor'easter, and it can last for days, and it's created due to the ice cap temperature, the temperature of the air sitting just above the ice cap, the water temperature that surrounds this island, and also the atmospheric temperature. And when all of
okay,
it crashes into each other, it creates a bitter rock. And I
gotcha.
know that all of you have seen probably on some movie that's had ice or a winter month where they're somewhere in Canada or in Alaska, and they have this biting wind that just will about knock you over. Is similar to that, only
Gotcha. Okay.
only worse. The first time I experienced it, I kept telling Nikolai the roof is going to get blown off the house, and he's like, "No, honey, it won't." Because I'm used to being in Florida where that kind of wind would take a roof off.
Right.
And so when I walked out the next day, I'm like, "You're right. Not one house had damage. If you'd been in Florida, there'd been lots of wreckage."
Yeah. Well, they're built for that sort of stuff up there, I'm sure. So,
Yeah, that's probably what. And also, the walls are thicker here. And you know that because when they put these windows in, you have windows. The window seal part is this wide.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mary Joseph is 45 this morning. Had severe thunder, lightning, wind, and rain yesterday. Very calm this morning. Joy says we're having lows about 50. Mona's mom is going rock crawling this morning. I'm not familiar with crawling. I've been rock climbing a few times, or indoor rock climbing. Let's see, what's rock crawling? We're about to find out, aren't we? It's off-road sport that involves driving modified 4x4 vehicles over large boulders and okay, so it's basically like four-wheel driving. Okay. We've done that a few times in Australia, but I thought she was like crawling across rocks or something like that. So
They're not allowed to do that here. And all of nature that surrounds the lake, you can't have a four-wheeler out in it. They've done everything they can to make sure that nothing happens to that lake.
well, that's good.
Yeah, so that's why there's no motorized vehicles on the lake. And even in the winter months when there's ice on the lake and snowmobiles are not allowed on it either.
It's good.
It's because our drinking water comes from that lake.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yep, and if you pollute it, you're just cutting your hands off.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Because when I
All
go down to
right.
the harbor sometimes, I'm alarmed by what I see down there because, big freighters come in and fishing vessels come in and there's this slime sitting on top of the water.
Hmm.
Not slime like green slime, like fuel slime. And then I watch the kids swimming in it, and it's just like, where's their mothers? They should not even be swimming in that.
Don't know.
Here's the first piece.
Oh, that's fun.
Mhm.
I'll show
Now,
you online in just a second.
now I'm going to do the blue one.
I'll be putting the whole block together in just a moment. So it's like one quadrant.
Oh, that looks good, Sean.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So there we go.
Do you have
With
plans to
Mona's mum, anything is possible. I love that.
So what do you have planned for later today?
Well, one of my kids is going to Busch Gardens, which is a local theme park.
There's a Busch Gardens in Virginia,
Yeah, there's two. There's one in Tampa, which is the one you're probably more familiar with, and then the
which
other
I,
one's
yeah, which is going to shock you. I've never been to it.
that's okay. Um, yeah, and then there's another one up here in Williamsburg. Yeah, so the one in Tampa is themes like for African countries, I think it is. Like it's like a safari land and all that sort of stuff down there. This one up here is themed on Europe. So there's like a little English section. There's a Ireland, Germany, France, Italy. Am I missing any? I think
I
that's
think
it.
the reason I didn't go is because I'm not a big fan of rides because
Yeah.
most of them make me sick. And now that I'm older, well, I didn't know this was an issue actually until after my first husband died. Me and Nikolai, which you're going to laugh when you hear this, when we were in Disney World, we went to Space Mountain, and I've been on Space Mountain so many times I can't even count. And but I hadn't been on it for a really long time. And after all the trauma and stuff, I didn't think anything about it. And I got on that ride, and I swear, Sean, I thought I was going to have a freaking heart attack. Every time it jerked, every time it did these loud noises. By the time we got to the other end, I looked at him and I said, "You can ride these rides all you want to. I'm never getting on it again." Because it freaked me out.
Doesn't
And
surprise me one.
I love roller coasters. That's what's so crazy.
Yeah, but I think you hit a time. Well, this is my philosophy, and I could be wrong. And if I am, please feel fine to disagree with me. But I think you get to a point in your life in your late 30s or early 40s where you really start feeling your mortality because, like, yeah, I used to go on these roller coasters and they were fine and dandy and everything else, and now I feel like, like even walking in a higher parking garage, look over the edge, and before heights never bothered me, but now it's like, yeah, if I fall, I'm going to die. So yeah, it's just funny that, um,
That's
yes,
interesting because I have a fear of heights. Like when you're jumping from a cliff into the water,
mm,
it would take me minutes to decide to do that. But flying in an airplane and a helicopter doesn't bother me at all, which is
right.
funny.
Well, because the captain wants to get home just as badly as you do.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's true. Kerry says, don't forget Germany. It was built by the B Germany family. That's yeah, Germany's one of the other sections in Busch Gardens as well, and it's one of my favorite sections. It's very, very pretty there.
Well,
So,
I had asked Myra because Myra, lives down in Central Florida, and her and Bill tend to do a lot of Disney World and also Busch Gardens. And I asked her, I said, "Do they have botanical gardens inside of there?" And she said they did. I don't care to go see the animals because y'all don't get mad at me, but I just feel like it's animal cruelty at its finest because those animals belong in the wild. And I guess the reason I have recently started feeling that way is we went to Homosassa Springs. They have a small uh park there where you can do like a little riverboat cruise and everything else. And then they
Right.
have like a miniature compound. And inside of there, we saw manatees, and I felt sorry for the manatees because there was hardly any space for, and they were huge manatees,
Mm.
and there was very little space for them to, move around in that pool of water. And then I saw a hippopotamus. She, according to the sign, she was in her 60s or something like that. She was all alone, and she wouldn't even look at us when we were looking at her. She was just sitting out there.
That's sad.
And I can't imagine being put in a cage where you don't have at least one of your, genetic brothers or sisters with you.
Right.
Because, they're sentient beings too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Who was it here? Candace says she loves rides, but there's one at Six Flags in Georgia called Goliath, which I have heard of, and it rattled my brain so much I almost blacked out twice on it, so I don't ride that one. I think there was a ride at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, called Drakenfire, which was actually in the German section, and apparently they had to remove that because people were blacking out on that thing. So
Kind of ride is
it
that?
and then I think there's one at King's Dominion, which is up just down the street from the State Fair, actually, called Intimidator 305, although it's recently been renamed. And I think they had to change part of that ride too because people were blacking out as they were flying around. That's an excellent ride. It's like one of my favorites overall, and one I would probably still ride today. Um, I go on very few rides now because A, I'm too tall for half of them. Did I goof this up?
I think I might have goofed mine up.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Oh, I think I put this on the wrong side.
Did.
I did. That's funny.
I
I put,
did. All
yeah, I
right.
put it on the wrong side. Oops.
Yep. I messed this one up too. So apparently today is the Sean and Jack show.
It's Sean
But
and
that's like
Katie's Ripper show.
it's all Miss Seamripper's fault.
Yep.
See, as soon as you say his name, he comes out to play. So
Hi, Andy. Welcome, welcome, and good morning.
good morning. Yeah, she says she doesn't like spinning rides since I'm prone to motion sickness. Yes, I am too. I never had motion sickness as a kid, but I discovered it on the trip down to my sister's wedding, um, which was in 2013. Goodness me, my sister's been married 12 years. I actually got motion sickness on the flight down to Australia, and that was a fun experience. So, because once you get on that plane, if you're not feeling well, it's not like you can just say, "Hey, can you let me out for a few minutes, or can you just pull over the side of the road and let me recover?" You just got to suck it up for the 16 hours you're on the plane.
I don't have motion sickness too much on a plane, but put me on a boat or a ship, and oh my God. It's not this motion that bugs me. It's the side to side that makes me want to go throw up.
Yeah, it's gotten bad for me over the last few years. Like you put me on a subway, or if I'm in a vehicle that I'm not driving, I have motion sickness a lot
Yeah,
too.
you probably
Um,
can't ride in the back seat without feeling nauseous.
although I've tried over-the-counter stuff in the past and it didn't really work before, and I found that you can get the prescription patch you put behind your ear, and that thing works beautifully, but it's expensive. Um, But I actually did take some over-the-counter stuff this week because I actually did ride in the back seat of a vehicle up to Baltimore and back, and that stuff actually worked. So thank you. I'm so thankful for that I was actually able to survive that without throwing up all over the place or feeling nauseous. So Yeah, Kerry says Dragonfly was an older one. Zaza says that King's Dominion was fun. Yeah, that's fun. Been up there twice this year with we went up there with Lily, not Lily. What's the name? The kids we had last year. I am terrible with names. I keep calling the kids by the wrong names. They're just used to it now. Ali and Eva. We took them up there a couple of times. We'll take the current group up there shortly.
You should take
Please.
them on a train ride, like
We did.
a round trip kind of. No, I mean, I think you took the kids last year in New York, though, didn't you? But
Yes,
I thought you drove to that one.
we did. Well, we drove up to New York, but we went into New York City because we went up to upstate New York up there by Poughkeepsie
I've been
area.
there.
Sorry?
It's a, yeah, that's near the Catskills and stuff.
Yeah. So that's where we went because that's where we went up there for the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, so Amanda could go look at all the pretty yarns. And so we wanted to go into New York City for the day because it's like an hour and a half north.
Yeah.
And we figured we could drive two-thirds of the way in and catch the train, like a commuter rail, New Jersey Transit or New York Transit or something like that in. Or I could just take Amtrak, and Amtrak worked out to be the same price, and it was a lot closer to where we were staying at the Airbnb. So we ended up taking the Amtrak train back in and out of the city for the day, and it worked out beautifully. So we may
One
do
way,
that again.
one way or the other, we are going to do the Zephyr train if and when we get to the States.
Yeah. So now we'll go to King Dominion at some point.
Sean, you
Yeah.
maybe you can answer my question about this. You have to renew your passport for your Australian passport, don't you?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
How do you get it without going back to Australia?
I go to the embassy.
And how does that work? You'll have to be more specific on what happens in the embassy.
Okay, so it's changed a little bit since the last time I went, because I'm not due to go again for a couple of years. But basically, you can make an appointment. They have embassies for pretty much every country or most countries in Washington, D.C. There's usually consulates in other cities, like major cities. I think, like for Australia, they have consulates in New York, Los Angeles, maybe Atlanta. There's probably a couple others, but I always go to the embassy in DC because it's the closest one to me. It's like 3.5 hours up the road. So a lot of places now require appointments. So you just go onto the embassy website, you make an appointment, and then you show up there with your completed passport application, the money that you need to pay, along with your passport photos. They process everything, and then they will mail you your passport once it's processed.
The thing is with the United States, they make you send in your passport. And I can't be in Greenland without a passport.
You can renew it online.
Yeah, but so I wouldn't have to send my passport in the mail?
No, because I renewed Amanda's.
I am absolutely not going to do that.
Oh, no. Renew it online. It's super easy. It's super quick. You can actually take your photos in your house. You don't have to go get professional photos. And like once you submit the photos, it will actually tell you, yes, this is acceptable, or no, this is what you need to fix. Yeah, renewing your US passport online is super easy, super simple. I mean, you don't have to send the old one in.
Even with all the new restrictions, it's been
Even with all the new
18.
restrictions. I mean, unless it's changed in the last 6 months, because I renewed Amanda's back over during the summer, and it probably took me 10 minutes to do. It was so easy. Because we went to go get passport photos at CVS, and the machine was broken. So I just went home and said, look, let's just take photos here. We'll figure it out. And yeah, I just filled out the application for her, uploaded the photos. The first ones, there was too much shadow on it. So we fixed it, submitted the photos and said, yes, this is good. I paid the fee. And like 4 days later, I had a, new passport. So yeah, renewing a US passport online is so easy. I wouldn't go in and do it in person because it's just so much easier to do it from the comfort of your own home.
Well, normally, I would come during the year that I need to renew it, and because I go to Florida anyway, and I do it there because that's where I originally started my passport from.
Yeah.
And then if I knew I was going to be somewhere else 6 weeks later, I would just have it mailed to that address,
Yeah,
like my daughter's address. But
yeah,
and I intended on coming to the U.S. this next year, but I don't think that's going to happen.
yeah. Just check to see if they'll mail it to the Greenland for you. But
I
I'm
don't.
pretty s-
I have issues with whether it's safe to mail it here when it takes so long for it to get here. It could
Yeah,
get lost, and then what's going to happen?
I don't know. That's the only downside to it. But yeah, you can renew it online. Um,
I mean,
so
we have a U.S. consulate currently in Nuke, but I don't know if they handle that or not.
they should. Most consulates can do passport applications or renewals and stuff. And so you'd have to probably organize your own photo.
Well,
And
I don't have a problem with doing that. We actually have someone that does that here,
oh,
because
okay.
I had to upgrade my or I had to um it works the same as a passport. Every 10 years I have to do a new update of my residency card.
Oh, like a green card. Okay.
No, it's not a green card.
I said like a green card. Say like your permit,
Yeah.
right? I know it's not a green card, and I know it's something different, but
Kind of like it reminds me more of my Greenlandic driver's license just about. But
okay.
but I have to do it every 10 years.
Yeah.
And now it's less paperwork. It's a 2-page paperwork instead of a 10-page like we had for the
Hmm.
first years of me being here. Nancy says, "Hey Nancy," she says, "I've always wanted to go to New York. I'll never get there. I'm afraid going alone just isn't in the cards. New York is enjoyable and it's not as scary as people think it is."
No, it's not. It really isn't.
Whoever's given the answer to the poll, you're not supposed to do that. That
But
was
there
for
you
you.
go.
You were supposed to vote on it, not give the answer.
Well, it's been up there for an hour, so I guess they've had enough time to answer it. So this is the block I made.
Yeah, Andy, it doesn't look like my plans have started falling apart. And then there's all this extra stuff going on between Greenland and the US. And um, for my own peace of mind and safety, it's just best I keep my butt parked for now because I don't want to go through Homeland Security and them ask to see my phone because my phone is none of their business.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you again next February, but that's okay. We'll catch up at some point.
Me too. I wanted to go because there's things I need to do. I need to renew my driver's license in Florida. I'm not going to be able to do that either because the new law about you have to have a real this little star put on your driver's license, which is now going to be called the real ID, which is so stupid because you can't get a driver's license without a birth certificate and a bunch of other things anyway. So I don't know why they're doing this.
I don't know.
It's something Florida's doing, and and I talked to the division of driver's license myself, and she flat out told me, she says, "You're going to have to come in person and do it. You cannot do it over the internet like like most people can. Used to could just do your driver's license. If you don't have a real ID already, you cannot do it online. You have to come in person and do it."
Yeah, because you got to take certain documents and stuff in. Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that means that when I come to the States, I'm not going to be able to drive until I pay the late fee for not renewing my driver's license. And then uh get the
You
real
can't use
ID.
your Greenlandic driver's license.
No.
Oh,
My boss, while her husband was he was ambassador from the last administration, so they were living in Maryland, and she had to get a US driver's license.
well,
Uh, she,
once you move here, you have to do it within like 60 or 90 days. But yeah, a
but
lot of times,
she was in and out the whole 4 years. I mean, she'd stay for so many
Yeah.
months, and then she'd come home to take care of tourism, and then she'd fly back. So, but she wasn't allowed to drive and I know for a fact you can't drive with a Greenlandic driver's license because they don't accept it. If you get pulled over,
I'd check on that because like the Virginia DMV would not recognize my license, Australian driver's license, but I was legally allowed to drive around with it like as a visitor.
yeah,
I just had to change. I had to change over. Like once I moved here, I had to go get a learner's permit and do a driving test 30 days later. But I was still legally able to drive with my Australian license during the interim. So I had to go back to the fourth to work. So I just, I continued to drive, and if the police were ever pulled me over, I was just going to get my Australian license because I was able to drive with that. So kind of a little loophole, but you can do that.
I already checked, and it's illegal to drive with them.
Okay, because like I use my
And I don't
not
relish the idea of getting arrested driving without a license.
it'd just be a wouldn't they just give you a ticket and you have to pay a fee? Like
You're
it
in
wouldn't be that
Florida, no. And in Florida, you'll get arrested.
really okay. Well, I don't plan
Florida,
on driving without a license anyway, but
Florida rules are way different than a lot of states. They have become so. If you drive when they expire car tags, um, you're depending on the officer. If the officer is grumpy that day, he can arrest you behind because you're driving a car illegally.
okay. I didn't realize it was that tough.
If you're driving without an insurance, you can be arrested.
That's nuts.
But
All right, Andy says,
the thing about the insurance though is interesting because um, my back injury come from a car accident where I was rear-ended and the guy was driving 65 miles an hour when he hit me. And when they asked for his driver's license, he was driving his big, huge Bonneville. He had no insurance on his car. He had revoked driver's license, which means he was totally driving illegal.
right. All right, so Rita's apparently posted a website where you can renew your passport, so that might be helpful. You can go
Thank you,
check
Rita.
that. Yeah, Andy says
Larry
Arizona did the real
says
ID
Oregon
thing
has
too.
to get more money. Yeah. Yeah, this is what's crazy about it. It's supposedly supposed to make it so that if you're flying domestic, you have to now have a real ID to fly domestically. And when I talked to the lady on the phone, I'm like, lady, I only use my driver's license to drive with. I have a passport I use even for flying domestically. She says it doesn't matter. The new law in Florida is you must have a real ID.
It's a federal law, I believe.
I don't know.
Go. All right.
States.
Good morning, Day. It's good to see you.
Is every state moving to the real ID?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a federal law. That's why you can't get on a plane without one. But your passport is also real ID
Well, I know.
approves.
That's what I've always used. It's just my passport.
Yeah.
Do you know here in Greenland, we don't have to show anything to fly domestically. Now, to fly in and out of the country, you have to have a passport.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
Okay. Hello, photography by day. What's your first name?
That's Delia, I believe.
Who?
Delia.
Oh,
You
Day.
met, yeah, Day. You would have met her down at Quilcon was it last year?
I didn't know that was her channel name.
Yeah, I think she has two accounts, like Mona does. Unless it's someone else with the same name, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Yeah, Christina says it's federal. Real ID think they said she thinks it took effect May 1st. Yeah, it was delayed a couple of times, and I think yeah, May 1st sounds about right.
We need to plan a quilting cruise to Greenland. Yes, you do, Andy. You know what? I wish we could do a retreat over here somewhere.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe do it in, I don't know, in Nuke or something. Where we could there's better, well, there's decent accommodations here too. I mean, the hotel has enough rooms, but there's several houses, it's Airbnb where it's multiple floor houses where you probably could secure the whole entire house and use
Right.
that not only sleeping but doing the actual retreat in there. The only difficulty would be is everybody would have to bring their own. Oh gosh, that would be a problem. Sewing machines, unless I could
That's
figure out something.
well, maybe the
Unless I,
cruise would be better because that way you can just drag it on board with you.
yeah, the cruise sounds like fun, especially if you could do an Arctic. Uh-oh, what we got going on here? Mm, okay, I need to figure out I need a new leader, I think.
Rita says she had a passport for years but decided not to renew it this year. No. If you
Well,
ever think you're going to use it again, I'd go ahead and renew it at some point because if you let it lapse, if it's expired more than 5 years, you have to start all over again.
you really should have one just for just, you know, have an update about my grandson getting one though.
Oh, nice.
Um, the the local government and where Thomas lives, there's a worker that's working with him,
Uh-huh.
and um, they've already started doing some legwork because they can't, no one knows where she's at. And right now, I think they're going to secure a lawyer who can file something called, which I hate doing this, but an abandonment filing,
Right.
and that way that we won't have to have her signature for Blaze to fly out of the country.
Oh, okay. That'll work.
Because that's why we want to see. Thomas already has a passport. He's had a passport for a while now. Um, but Blaze, you can't just go walking out of the country with your son because he has to have ID. Otherwise, he'll think you're hijacking your child.
Yeah. Yeah, Rita said she would have, but decided the expense was not worth it. Yeah, that's the part about my Australian passport that kind of
How much does your,
uh oh, you don't want to know the answer to that question.
well, the American one's around $100, hundred and something dollars, I think.
I think it's one third. I think we paid 130 to renew it. Australia now has the distinction of having the world's most expensive passport.
Really?
Yeah. I think the
What?
last one I got, I think it cost me 325 American dollars.
Dang.
And yeah, fees. Let's see. If I go get one today, um, it'll cost me 388 US dollars.
Do you have to pay for your residency card?
Yeah.
How much is your resident, if I may ask?
Oh, I don't care. I don't mind telling people how much a residency card is because you can go online and look it up yourself. I won't tell you. The renewal, I think, is currently 410 US.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Do you know how much my residency card cost?
not $410, I'm sure.
Take a guess.
Probably 112. Zero. Okay.
The paperwork for being allowed to live here, zero.
Wow. Okay.
Now you understand why I did the migrating. Because all the cost of him migrating to the United States was just, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But you
And
know, it is
the biggest factor that came into play is he did not want to give up his job for two reasons. One, he had been on this job for a long time. And secondly, we did lots of research trying to see if he could actually find the same type of job he had. And the only place, well, they have shrimp companies and stuff like that, but the problem is it's seasonal, not year round. And Nikolai, you can't make money not working year round.
right.
Rita says it's almost 500 to renew passport. Why?
Oh, because you paid for extra for expedite. I would not, unless you had
Not
to,
either.
unless someone dies and you have to be in another country in 3 days, I would not pay for expedite because, like, when I renewed my wife's passport earlier this year, she's a US citizen for anyone who doesn't know. It said the processing time was about 6 weeks, and we're like, well, we're not planning on going anywhere in 6 weeks. I filed it on a Saturday. We had it in our hand, but we didn't pay expedite. We just paid regular. I had the passport in our on our doorstep on Wednesday.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. That's why I
It
don't mind.
doesn't. Like, as
Yeah,
long as you don't do as long as you don't do it during peak time. I think most people, like, the peak time is probably in this, like, late winter, early spring, because everybody's trying to get their passports renewed before the summer travel season. And I think we renewed ours in like July or August. So it was like after peak season. Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. I mean, the same thing with the Australian one. They asked me if I wanted expedited. I was like, no, I don't care. Yeah, I did my application on Monday and I had it Wednesday. So apparently, yeah, seems
I
like
did mine
Wednesdays.
last renewal in December, and it got to me. I did it in Florida, and I was in Florida for 3 weeks, and then I flew over to California, and it got there like in the fifth week after filing it
Hmm,
with no trouble at all. Because
yeah,
what I had been doing is when I go to the U.S., I would spend a total of 12 weeks in the States. Because the maximum amount of time Nikolai can stay in the States is 90 days.
right.
And then he must leave unless you want to go get deported.
Which we don't want.
Nope, we sure don't. I have no problem with following the rules
Yep.
because it makes
Me
perfect.
too.
And I don't want to have my husband put in jail, you know?
It does not sound like my idea of fun.
Nope.
So you never know what you're going to learn when you come into one of our lives. You know, did you ever think you're going to learn about passports and,
Rita says she's just not a person that likes to wait.
oh, okay, fair enough.
That's expensive. I didn't know it cost that much because I don't remember Florida charging 500 for expediting. I'm sure it
I
varies
thought,
from state to state.
yeah, I thought it was like $60 extra or something to,
That's what I thought too was
um,
like 60 extra dollars in Florida.
yeah, I don't know, because yeah, the only US passport we have is Amanda's. So
I thought about because I've lived here long enough, I might could qualify to get a Greenlandic passport.
there you
Not
go.
I don't have I wouldn't have to give up my citizenship to have it. But
No, yeah, 'cause they recognize dual.
and it would be handy. I wouldn't have to go through as much hassles going through other countries if I used a Greenlandic passport. Because France is one of them. It's just a pain, man. I don't know. Things might get better with France. Who knows?
You know, is Greenland part of Schengen or no?
Part of what?
Schengen,
I don't know what
where
that is.
that's part of the part of the European Union where you don't have to um, go through your passport control once you're in the Schengen area, but go between countries.
I think Nikolai. I don't know. Once we're in Denmark, if that's the. I don't know. Because a lot of times we have what you call we go from Denmark to Amsterdam and then to the United States. Um, and he doesn't have. I don't think he has to re-show his passport just going from plane to plane. But I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to ask him when he wakes up about that.
That's all right. I'm looking it up now because I want to know.
Because I asked Torben about, what kind of extra things me as an American would have to do to go to Thailand. And I definitely will have to ask for a visa to go to Thailand because I'm an American citizen.
Oh, okay. I know my sister's been there. My sister and her husband went to Thailand a few years ago. I mean, I don't know if we may not even need a like Australian passport holders might not need to have a visa to go to Thailand. If it's only like a 5 or 6 hour flight away, it's not that far, relatively speaking.
Because that was one of the things I wanted to know about, is if that was going to be a requirement and how long I could stay. Because it makes no sense to fly to Thailand and only spend a week there, because they have this enormous botanical garden that would take at least a week to see all of it, and that is on my bucket list if we go.
Well, how about that? Apparently, US citizens can travel to Thailand for tourism for up to 60 days without a visa. Passport must be valid for 6 months beyond the arrival date, and you must complete a Thailand digital arrival card online before arrival.
Yeah,
So that should be
there's
easy
some,
enough to do.
there's some extra thing you do, but yeah, I knew it was like 60 days, and we would probably stay about 3 weeks probably.
Yeah. Yeah, digital arrival card's basically like an ETA. It's also called an ETA in some countries and that sort of thing. Now you basically go online, you fill out a form, you pay them like $10 or something like that, and they just do a quick background check to make sure that you're not someone that want in their country, and then they say, "Yay, here you go, have a nice time," and away you go.
I don't know what we're going to do about flying to the States for Nikolai, because they're going to charge more money for tourists. They're calling it, I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty expensive. It's like $500. He
Hmm.
may never
Okay.
come to the States again, which is going to suck because he would like to see the grandkids.
Yeah, makes it hard.
I don't know. It could change in 4 years. Who knows?
That is
Now,
very true. Welcome back, Dawn. She said she had internet problems, but she's back now, so that's good.
yeah,
Well, it's
welcome
good that
back.
she's back. It's good that she's back, not that she had internet problems, of course.
Yep, welcome back. The sun is heating up this house. I have the back door open, and it's still not cooling this room off much. We turned our thermostat up in the house a little bit for the floors, so the house is already staying warmer than usual as it is.
Right. Yeah.
Because we had a week
It's
where um, I don't know, it was a month ago where the temperatures had changed enough that you could tell that this end of the house was staying a little bit chillier than it needed to be.
right.
I kind of got more. I don't like it being a little chilly. It's weird. Kind of like my mother was like that. She liked the house being chilly during the winter months.
Hmm.
And I have to think it maybe has something to do with our lung disease.
Maybe.
Stuffy houses makes it harder to breathe. Dawn says tech problems stink.
Yes, they do.
Oh, we said that at the same time. Sean, what do you think about this so far?
About what?
This.
Oh, it looks good. Sorry, I thought you were holding it up, but I'm like, I don't see anything. I didn't
No,
look at
it's
your
not
second.
sewn together yet. I mean, the quadrant, I'm doing the quad, or I'm almost done with this one, but the quadrants still have to be sewn together.
Yeah, it's a nice, like to me, it's more muted. But that's nice,
Yeah, it's calm
it's
for me, isn't it?
yeah. And so I've done this.
That looks great. Look at
Yeah,
you. All that color. Yeah, this is definitely a calmed color for, or calming down color for me. I usually don't even, but I really like this Cali and Co stuff. So that's the
yeah,
only reason I'm doing it, because I liked the colors are happy to me. They might be
right.
a little bit muted, but they still are happy colors.
Yeah, and that's nice about these projects is that they have different colorways that you can choose from. So, like if you want something bright and bold, they have that. If you want something a little more muted, they have that option. And you also kind of like they'll also give you a range of color. Like they'll show you like the different colorways that they have, and they might show you 12 colors, but you don't know which four or six or whatever it is you're going to get. So it's like a little surprise.
Dawn says, Katie, I love the happy colors. Yep, me too.
I appreciate you all coming out this morning. So
Dawn, did you see how much did you see Nikolai's handiwork with his jelly roll stuff?
no, where is that?
Let me show you a piece of it.
Okay, that'd be good.
He realized he made a boo-boo, so he's gonna have to go back and take some of the strips of, he's doing these in sets of three, and
Oh, that's fun.
he realized he did one of the sets of three too many of them, and he don't have enough of the other direction. But look at that. Doesn't that look great?
He's doing wonderful of that.
He is. Look at this one.
That's great. And did
He's
he
doing
pick up the fabrics, or how did that work?
this was from a one jelly roll, Kansas Troubles, Prairie Dreams, and this is all him. He's not allowed me to even input anything. So
Independent human.
he's being independent on it. He's like he's doing this his way.
Good for him, and I think that's good that he wants, he's taken ownership of it and he wants to do it his way. And I think, when he's done, he'll be really proud of it.
Yeah, he says he's challenging himself, and he's actually, I believe, he's really enjoying it. I didn't know how he would feel about it once he got started on it, but I think he got the fever a little bit.
Well, then he can start his own channel. He can be the Lego Quilter or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. But he doesn't have time to run a channel, not with him being gone 2 months at a time.
Yeah, I know 'cause it takes a
Because
long time to
yeah, and
produce stuff.
he wouldn't have good internet access to even try to do it from the ship.
No,
Because someone mentioned that to him, and he says, no, can't do it. There's just it wouldn't make sense to do a lot of work for 2 months and then be gone for 2 months. The channel would suffer, and he's right, it would.
yeah, unless he did shorts from the ship, but that would you know,
That
still
takes a
take
lot of
effort.
time. It does.
Maybe less bandwidth, but still. But no, unless you have the time to dedicate to it,
I don't really think he's too terribly interested because, we've incorporated his Lego, and also we haven't done a live yet about Greenie yet. We need to do another one, sharing history of Greenland stuff.
yeah.
Um, we've incorporated it into the channel anyway, so he feels like that's good enough.
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of
I
people
think he should have a
appreciate
Lego.
that you go.
Yeah, I personally think he should have a Lego channel too, but he's keeps saying nope, not interested.
Hey, whatever works for you guys, I think people would probably enjoy the fact that you do it together as well. So,
Yeah, there's a new Christmas kit that's about to come out, and it looks like a Christmas tree house, but you open it up and there's this whole house inside of it.
oh,
And
there
it
you
has
go.
3,000 pieces, and we're going to buy that one and build it together.
Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because I think it would be fun to do that one. It looks very like lots of fun. And there's a new Christmas train coming out too. So trains
That's
are his thing.
that's cool. I couldn't tell you the last time I built a Lego kit. I just like to think that I work with fabric Lego.
Well, he's been designing a hotel in some Lego software that he's got.
Right.
He Because the Lego provides the software. This is where designs come from for like Lego ideas and stuff. And
Yeah.
if your idea is good enough, they'll turn it into a project kit and put it out on the market. But anyway, he's been working on I think it's either it's a 2 floor or a 3 floor hotel.
Oh, that's fun.
He has been he's still working on it, and he has gone all out on all the little things you wouldn't think of adding to it that you would actually see in a hotel.
That's neat. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that when he's done. So I'd love to see what features, he puts into it and that sort of thing there as well, because I can put together a quilt pattern, but trying to figure out how to do a Lego kit, yeah, I don't think that's something that I would necessarily excel at. So I'd be very interested to see how he does there.
The
Yes, we
dining
still.
the dining and kitchen areas in the bathrooms. You know what he's been doing? He's been making tile for the floors that look like quilts.
Oh, there you go.
I thought you would love that.
There's actually a new pattern by Elizabeth Hartman that several people have come to me now and said, Sean, you need to do this. And yes, it's on my list for 2026. And it's like these little bears that holding up these different quilt blocks that they've made. I
All
forget what
right,
it's called.
let's sew these together.
Dawn says, LOL, you both still play on blocks. Cute. That is true. I actually have a shirt that says that. I didn't wear it today, but it's it says I still play with blocks, and then it's got like quilt blocks on it. And then she's asking how I like my new machine. I love this machine. It's been really, really good. There's one or two little things about it that I'm not, it's like any machine, nothing's ever perfect. Um, but yeah, I'm really, really happy with this machine. I'm really happy with the purchase. And yeah, I mean, I really need to or I'd like to do a review video of it maybe early next year once I've had it close to a year. I might do a review video kind of like, now that I've used it for that amount of time and just say what I like, what I don't, and that sort of thing there as well. So,
You know that January I've had my machine for 6 years,
wow, okay.
and it's never been serviced because I only have this machine. I would have I would have to send it to Denmark for servicing. It probably needs to be serviced. They're making comments about Nico stuff too. They're saying, uh, Rita says nice. Dawn says gorgeous depth and contrast. Who did you say photograph? Oh, Day says great job. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, where did you go?
If you have a channel, don't forget to share your channel.
Throw it in there so we can all go take a look and see what you're up to. So,
Yeah, and if we have people in here that's never seen your channel, they can go over and have a peek and subscribe. And
hit the like button, I like the jazz.
if I thought that people wouldn't think this was rude, I would make a challenge for all of us to help Tammy and the Siberian Wind and Danny from So Not an Expert to reach 1K.
Oh, that'd be fun for them, yeah.
Yeah, they have been lingering around the same numbers for months now. It would
Yeah,
be
and
cool.
they're both wonderful channels. They're both good friends of mine.
Yep.
It'd be neat to see both of them hit that 1,000. I mean, I think it'd be an exciting milestone for both of them. I know how exciting it was for me when I got to 1,000.
Yep.
Yeah,
And Sherry's another one. She's sitting around 600. So it's really not. I don't think it's improbable of reaching 1K herself if people would push her channel too.
yeah. We should talk about that and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, that would be great because maybe we could do something together as a whole
Let
group.
me throw let me put the dogs outside real quick. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
They're making a lot of noise. All right, sorry about that. They must have seen a bird or a squirrel or something outside that they had to go take care of. So,
The only reason Nora's not in here pestering me is because she's in the bed spooning with her daddy.
there you go. Yeah, they
It's
usually come
hilarious
down.
the way she does. He's home. There's lots of spooning going on.
Yep. No, they
She
normally sleep during the lives, but I guess it was time. They must have seen something that they liked. So we've
seen
done,
something or heard something, one of the two.
yeah. So I've done these two.
That looks good, Sean. Look at you.
Thank
I
you.
really like that fabric that looks like a sun.
Yes. All right, did I just wait? How did I decide to lay this out? Now I can't remember.
You and I might get this first block done together at the same time
Yeah.
because I'm getting close to getting this one done too.
See, we'll see what happens here.
Yep, because it's coming along. Rita says she just likes doing videos.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's why I do it. I mean, I'm not here to create if I was here to make a living out of it, I would have been broke or homeless a long time ago.
Yeah, you
Um,
and me both. I mean, I don't expect to ever make a living at it,
no,
but
but
I do think having a strong foundation is a good thing.
oh, for sure.
And I realize that people are seeing my subs go up, but the other numbers have, because of my illness, those are tanking.
Just keep at it, and
Well,
it'll work itself out eventually.
we're not going to freak out about it. We're going to go one day at a time. It'll get better when I get back on track. At least I
Yep.
hope so. As long as I don't have any more sicknesses or any more of what's caused me to be out to begin with. Time to stand up
Right.
again.
Yeah, too much work life, not enough spare time is what Dawn says. Yeah, that daytime job seems to get in the way of my quilting, but that's okay. They pay the bills. Well, give me the money to pay the bills. So
Yeah, my little channel is not paying any bills.
yeah,
trying to reach I'm trying to reach a goal so I can buy a new laptop and it's going to take a while.
yeah. I try not
Because
to worry too much about the financial aspect of it. I just do it just because I enjoy hanging out with y'all. And if YouTube wants to send me a few burns here and there to help pay for a fabric purchase here and there, that's fantastic. But past that, I'm not really super concerned about it because as soon as you do it, it's just going to freak you out and it's not going to help you anyway. So,
yeah, I haven't gone and looked to see where I'm at on that.
all right, let's.
I haven't had any money from them since January, so
So has anyone got any fun plans for the fall, the Halloween, anything else like that? We're going to take the kids trick or treating on Friday. They're really looking forward to it.
did your
Um,
wife do Thanksgiving?
sorry?
You and your wife do Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we do Thanksgiving here. So we always do like a nice traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and that's something the kids always look forward to. All right, let me put the dogs back in real quick.
Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but here's the top half. And here's the bottom half. Now I'm going to sew them two together. And then I'll show you the whole block.
Okay.
The
Oh,
financials of my channel is a joke, says Dawn. Yeah. But if I keep at it, eventually it will pay out. Yeah, see?
that is so
That's why
true.
yeah, that's why I'm not making no big thing about the money part of it, because it really doesn't matter in the grander scheme of things right now. It probably never will, but and I'm fine with that.
Got this, we got this.
Did you just show something?
No, I'm just putting stuff together.
Okay, gotcha. Let me know when you're ready to show something and I'll spotlight you.
Okay.
Uh, Dawn says no Halloween plans. Candy has gotten too expensive like everything else.
Yeah, you're not wrong about
Um,
that.
yeah, they don't sell. It's weird. You see Halloween stuff in the store here, but they don't really have it as a holiday. But I think it's January, they do some kind of something that kind of reminds me of Halloween, but Nikolai calls it something else. But they dress up in spooky little suits and stuff. But I think it might have to do with maybe Greenlandic lore.
There you go. That'd be fun.
Because there's a lot of lore.
Yeah. Good morning, Miss Alex. Good to see you.
Hi there, Alec. Alex, sorry. And hi, Sandy. She says,
Hi,
good morning, Sean. It's so good to
good
see
morning.
you two as always.
Well,
Uh-oh.
thank you. We appreciate that.
Message just disappeared while I was reading it.
That's all right.
Andrea says, Katie, I bought new hearing aids and ran out of money before I could pay for membership this month. But yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
And
do not ever stress about that, you
yeah,
know.
don't stress out about that. I am not the least bit worried about that.
Your hearing aids are far more important.
Exactly. You take care of you first.
Neither one of us will be on the street because of that.
Yeah, definitely not. If it's a good thing we did depend on it, right, Sean?
Right?
We would be homeless because you can't live off of $50 a month. And
No.
maybe not even that. I mean, this month is like not even that.
The time I don't even pay attention to what it says.
Well, you know how in your stats on your studio it
Yeah.
shows an estimate, and right now mine's sitting at $48 or something like that. No, 48
Yeah.
euros, sorry, not dollars.
And I glance at it once in a while, but
But I've gotten where I'm not even looking at it because like whatever.
well, so much of it fluctuates too, what some months, like as we're going towards Christmas, I think the advertisers pay more, so you get more per view during the holidays and that sort of thing there. So that fluctuates, and then your views, and there's so many factors in there. Like you need to worry about the factors you can control, which is not that.
I can tell you that when a lot of times people from Tuber Chat will come and watch my an entire playlist, and when we're swapping playlists, and that's been going on for several weeks in a row, my revenue estimate goes up actually.
Well,
So
that's
they're
fun.
running the playlist, which is running the ads. So the ads are being watched, and I guess that's what's making it go up whenever we're doing playlist swaps,
Yeah.
because it's definitely not based on just the my lives and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole lot of financial stuff that, I don't fully understand, but we could spend hours talking about how it all works and that sort of thing there. But yeah, basically the advertisers, when you see the ads, they bid on how much they want to pay YouTube, and what YouTube gets and what we get is two different numbers, because they take their cut, of course. But they're also providing a platform that we can make a little money. So, I don't see it as a bad thing. But yeah, it depends on the time of year, how much they're willing to pay, how popular your videos are, and that sort of thing. There's so many different factors. Like you could drive yourself insane trying to figure out how it all works. Or you can just put out some fun content and just let it take care of itself, which is what I'm going to do. So,
Yep, it'll eventually do what if it's meant to do something, it will.
and if you keep
It,
making good content, it's gonna work itself out, like focus on that and it will take care of itself. I was got this last theme or so, and then I'll be done with what I brought along today.
oh,
I've still got You still have stuff left over, right, Katie, that maybe we can come back and do this again another time?
yeah, I was thinking, do you want to do? Yeah, there's plenty left over for me. Do you want to do another one so we can continue on? Because the way I'm doing it, I will do so. I'll be working, in the background trying to get more done, but I don't see me getting it finished anytime soon because I'm behind on everything right now.
Yeah.
I need bed.
Um,
I need
I
medicine.
I was going to say it might. I actually do need to run away in a few minutes because I actually had this planned out for two hours, and I've got to get stuff ready for the day. Plus, I thought with your back, it might be good for you to go and rest. But I figured maybe we could pick this up again, either next month or December or something like that, and
Yeah, that
go
would be
from.
good. Have you finished your block?
Count about 12, and the answer will be yes.
Well, wait till don't stop until I finish mine.
Yeah.
Throw it together and then I'll cut out. Yeah, I'm standing up because I'm in pain. You see how I jumped up real fast? It was because one wave of it just hit me, and I'm like, okay. My body's saying, you had enough of this.
Oh, and that's very true too. Dawn says I assume in the American winter months, people are at home watching more screens and are spending more at holiday time. So yeah, definitely spending more. And yeah, during the winter time, we're not out at the beach and the lake and all that sort of stuff. Now some of us might be at the ski resort enjoying the slopes. But yeah, that's very true too. Because yeah, you hear a lot of people. I know Katie's talked about it before, where it's what she calls summer doldrums, where we see our views, go down because everybody's out enjoying the warmer weather, which is fantastic. So, all right. So my
Uh,
second block is done.
while we're talking here, also, I have an idea that I think that you and I can do together because which you use either Streamlabs or StreamYards. Which do you use?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We have new creators out there that are babies. I mean, just brand new being born channels.
Right.
Like Zaza made a couple comments yesterday in her live that she didn't know how to do something and or how to. Here's my idea. I would like to make a video where I can walk them how to set up Zoom to go into and set up the YouTube portion of it where you tie the two together. And I could do it with the Zoom, and maybe you could do the same. Do it, and maybe we could do it as a collab. Now that we can tie our we can do collabs together through
Yeah.
YouTube itself. Um, and then you do the same thing, sharing all the information for your platform you use to go live with, and we do it step by step using, sharing the screen
Yeah.
and make a video. So, and this will be for newbies who are just starting out who don't understand how to navigate setting up lives, because if we could help them do that along
Yeah.
with teaching them how to turn on the closed captioning on their lives, because a lot of people are not turning their lives those on, so it leaves out a group of people who are hearing impaired.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because on lives you have to turn that on, they can't turn it on themselves.
Right.
So we should I think we should walk that, because that's part of setting up a live anyway. And I think, and then put it out there so that um, when we have someone new and they don't know how to do something, because you have vast amount of knowledge. I know you're strapped for time. I'm not so much, but I know how to navigate my end of it better now.
Yeah.
And you can look at the video and say, well, you should have put this in here, or let's add this in here, or we could do it like a private live and record the whole thing and then upload the whole thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's been on my list to do at some point. So now that you kind of challenge me to do it, I can move it further up the list. So yeah, let's knock that. Like, I think that's a good way of doing it. Like, you do Zoom, I'll do StreamYard, and do it that sort of thing there. I mean, I can put together an edited video if I sit down long enough. It shouldn't
And
take me
maybe we
too
can
long.
find, yeah, and maybe we can find other more mature channels who uses some of the other platforms. Maybe they also at some point could join in and do a same video of that particular platform they use, because there's more than just Streamlabs and Zoom. Some people are using some of these other ones, but you still
Yeah,
got to learn how to tie this to run a live. And if there's videos out there for all the newbie people who are trying to learn,
right.
it'll keep it more simpler, because eventually they're going to want to use a platform so they can bring people on to their platform.
Yeah, I've got some ideas swimming around my head. So why don't you and I talk about that offline afterwards? And then we can work some stuff out. I've got a few other people in mind that might be able to help us out with this project.
Okay.
So yeah, let's work on this. I think, and we can also maybe even put it together as a course. That's a new thing
Yeah,
on
that's what I
YouTube
was
now.
thinking, like a course. Yeah, do it
Yeah,
like a course. And then
yeah,
people can
okay,
come in and do the course. And because if we do it properly, they should be able to follow step by step on doing it by
yeah,
doing it on there while they're following.
yeah. All right, we'll work on that.
Your walk.
Rita says she prefers Restream. We might pull her into this.
Yeah. So
Um,
see and restream all, because a lot of people use different ones, and if we can pull enough in who know all of the steps, the right steps, simple steps, we should be able to create some
yeah,
type of thing where a new goes, okay, I'm using this one, and they find a video about that specific one, and I'm
yeah.
spotlighting you.
Oh, okay. So, for anyone that came in late, I
Know your
did this
block.
block earlier. This is the
Uh-oh.
first one I made.
You've done more than one already?
Yeah.
I've been talking too much.
So that's that one. And then this is the one I just finished a couple of minutes ago.
John knows rock. Look at
Yeah.
you. Yes, we definitely need to do some more of this in December if you're interested. You
Yeah,
don't have no time
absolutely.
in November at all?
Sorry.
No time in November?
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to go back and do the other project first.
Oh, you're done, aren't you?
No, I still got a bunch more blocks to make two more
Oh,
cushion
then
covers.
okay, then we'll do Star Climber in November, and then we'll do this in December.
Yeah, let's do that. So,
Now
that's what
I'm
I
gonna
made
spot.
today.
Now I'm gonna spotlight so you can see mine.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Very nice. You've done well. The colors would look really nice together. I think you've done a really good job of picking out those colors and laying it out. Like the two bolder colors are opposite the two lighter
Yep,
ones. So yeah, you've done well with this.
I think it looks good too, and it's gonna be a cute little quilt. I mean, it might not be. Everybody's so used to seeing me use all these bright warm. I mean, look behind me.
Hmm. Yeah, you're
Or
like me with that.
yeah, I just got color all over the place. But I thought this would be a fun, you know, because there's a lot of people who like fabric like this.
Oh,
And so
definitely.
I thought I would do at least one project this year that has something like this, because, there is people out there that love this stuff. And I really like this Kelly and Co stuff anyway. So I
Yeah,
liked how it's different.
it is very much so.
The little prints and stuff, they're very different. Um, Corey Yoder did a good job with this color line.
Yes, you did.
Okay, all right, y'all. Now you've seen what we're working on. Next month, me and him will go back to working on some more of our Star Climber
Hmm.
Do we have a shutdown date of Star Climber? Not right now, especially now that I'm behind. I'm way behind on everything now. Normally, I was sewing these projects every week, keeping it going, but I hadn't been able to do that. So I'm going to be trying to do some catching up, which
Yeah.
means that I'll probably be doing some of my catching up offline,
Yeah.
maybe little mini videos of the progression. Maybe that's probably what I'll do. I'll do like little mini video, pre-record it. That way I can stop and get up and go run around for a while, and then come back and try to do a little more until this thing with my pain either goes away or lessens enough where I can sit longer, because that's part
Right.
of the problem I'm having going on right now. The only time I can escape the pain is to lay down.
Yeah.
So
No, we'll work it out.
we're gonna figure it out. And y'all don't
Yes.
give up on me. Please don't give up on me.
No. Say hi to Katie once in a while. Go watch some of her videos. Say hi in the comments. Hit that like button if you've ever only done so. All that good stuff. That way, it keeps her relevant and that sort of thing there as well. So
Yeah, and all of my recent stuff, my because I have playlists. If you click on playlist on the main YouTube channel, you'll see where I made playlists. The more recent ones, like Fridays are for sewing, Thursdays are for sewing, and the other one is Saturdays are for sewing, Sundays are for sewing, and then there's one that's about the 1000 block. I made a playlist specifically for that one.
yeah,
Y'all pick a video in the middle of all that and share it on your platform. I normally wouldn't even ask this of you, but I need help right now until I get back on my feet. And
yeah.
I spend an extraordinary amount of time watching y'all's channels. Sean,
Yes,
speaking of your channel, the one that you have that's the live that has 171 videos in it?
yeah.
I've watched all of them. But when I go in there and try to comment, it won't let me comment.
That's okay. I've seen a bunch of your comments. I haven't had a chance to get through my comments yet. I'm a little behind. But
But
yeah, I've seen.
while I've been out with my pain and stuff, I've been glued to the tube.
There you go.
burning
So
up,
that's good.
burning up. So any of you who think that I haven't, I have. I've been running my laptop and the TV, watching Mona's channel. I watched several of her playlists already. I've been on Shonda's. I did an entire one on Shonda's. I did an entire one on Sherry. I've been trying to continue to be my usual proactive self, because I believe in helping other channels,
Yep.
especially the guys. I have this motto that I believe that we should help little people, you know,
Mhm.
and because it helps to make the little people stronger.
Yep. Definitely.
And that's my message of the day. Go out and help
Yep.
someone.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for having me. We better scoot, otherwise I'll be late for my
Yep.
day, and that might be good.
Thank you for today. And everybody remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do you do with that? You make something
Create something.
beautiful. Bye,
Yep. All
everyone.
right. See you later. Bye.
And I'll answer someone's comment in the chat when I disengage this, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. We are now ended.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.